Yeah, a few days ago, inside January of 2023, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed was on Channels TV talking about 2023 elections being a referendum on Nigeria. He was trying to create the impression that the referendum he's talking about is in relation to who will win the election. If we elect a good man, then we're home and dry. That's the impression he wants to, that's the facade, that's the impression he wants to put out. But when you look more closely, in fact, we could listen to him for a minute.
If you keep harping on this view that he is ours, he is Igbo, he is ours, he is Yoruba, he is ours, all you're going to do is to trigger he is ours because he's from the north, either he's House of Fulani or whatever. That's all you're going to do. And people will line up eventually behind people the same way that you will line up behind yours. And we don't want that. Believe me, this country doesn't want an ethnic president. They don't want a president elected on the basis of his faith. We want a president who will be voted in because enough Nigerians feel comfortable enough. Where we are now is very dangerous. All this endorsement on the basis of faith and on the basis of ethnicity, it's very damaging. It's not moving the country forward. It's just simply taking us back. 1964. Long before the military came in. We have a very, very good understanding of history. We've broken a lot of bridges that shouldn't be there. The North is just beginning to talk to the Southeast. Right now, I can say this to you. However, there is a dialogue discussion going on between northern groups and Ohanese Indigo. Some of it is political, some of it is looking at what this country will be. The consequences of the elections are very important. We're not just going to elect someone. This election is more than an election. It's a referendum on Nigeria.
Having listened and looking at the face of Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, you could see very clearly that the referendum he's talking about is not about who will win the election. It is, we allege, it is the question of are the elections going to hold at all? Because the owners of the sovereignties that are confiscated and consolidated into the Nigeria you see are saying that they will not proceed to another round of national elections on the basis of the constitution that ruined their lives. The worse than apartheid constitution 1999 of Nigeria, unitary constitution. And so, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed and the Caliphate and all of those he represents, the renegades from the South and Middle Belts who are going to election with them under that constitution at this time. Hakeem Baba-Ahmed is deflecting attention from that major concern. That concern is why he is worried. He says we are back to where we were in 1964. Where were we in 1964? By 1962, May 29, 1962, the constitution of Western region of Nigeria was illicitly, suspended by the federal government of the time. Ahmadu Bello and his secretary called Tafawa Balewa, your prime minister of the time, suspended the constitution of Western region amidst the dispute of who won the independence election. Awolowo was clearly ahead of all of them. It was the British that coronated the man that came third, that then formed government. And so Awolowo says no, goes to court. They say, no, you didn't win. They put him in prison. His people began to revolt. Then, in the effort to quell the Western region resistance to that federal government brigandage, Fulani brigandage, because that's what it was. The constitution of Western region of Nigeria was suspended unconstitutionally on the 29th of May, 1962. The further resistance, because the resistance that led to that suspension, in which Dr. Majeko Dogumi was appointed sole administrator by that federal government over Western region. the first resistance was, you know, regarding it had to do with the outcome of the election that Awolowo said he won. The second wave of resistance was when the constitution that was suspended in containing the first resistance, the Constitution of Western Region, now leading to, of course, while all of that was going on, elections came in 1964. That's the one Hakeem Baba-Ahmed was talking about, that we went into election in the midst of disputed constitutional arrangement because there were 3 constitutions that federated at independence: Eastern Region, Western Region, and Northern Region. You suspend one leg out of 3. So Nigeria was in a situation where you can imagine a tripod. You remove one leg. The constitution of Nigeria had collapsed. Instead of solving that problem, they went on towards election. And therefore, the election of 1964 was held in the midst of disputed constitutional arrangements. And then the outcome became totally unacceptable, not because it was not free and fair, but because the constitutional arrangement, the same situation we're in now. For those who are going about talking about free and fair elections, civil society people, who, you know, one man, one vote. Buhari is advertising free and fair election to you around the globe, that's the legacy he wants to leave. But he's completely opposed to solving the constitutional anomaly. What free and fair election can you get from a crooked constitutional arrangement that already rigged everybody out, seized everybody's sovereignty and assets? And so Hakeem Baba-Ahmed is talking about that situation as we saw it in 1964, repeating itself. The constitutional arrangement of Nigeria is now disputed to the point where many, no less than 75%, eager to leave the union. If you doubt that, call a referendum today. Many of those who are dragging to elections now are more interested in referendum. Why can't we agree on the union before we proceed to election about who will govern it? And so Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, in all of the sophistry to make it look like it's just a question of electing a better person than the one who is there. You remember when I think it was in December of 2021 that the meeting that Obasanjo and his co-travelers called in Abuja, that Sultan attended and Gumi attended. I was invited to that meeting, of course. They were just trying their luck. They knew I would not come. NINAS put out a position in 2020, December 20. You now begin to invite me by the corner. I didn't go. But that meeting held in which the representative of the Joint National Congress, the secretary of the Joint National Congress, who came to represent Obasanjo, interrupted him in that meeting when he was talking about the oil and gas that have been confiscated by Nigeria. Obasanjo said, "Who told you the oil and gas belong to you? That it belongs to Nigeria, belongs to federal government." Then the altercations with Edwin Clark, who had to write him a letter. I can't remember who. I think it's Obasanjo that initiated the letter. Edwin Clark now responded, say, you Obasanjo, who was part of how our oil and gas assets were confiscated. You are now citing the constitution you imposed. You helped your friends, the caliphate, to impose on us as your basis of insisting that the oil and gas now belong to you, to federal government. And so it was that altercation that brought things to the point where Ijo was now talking about, watching out for their own interests, not for Nigeria's interests. And so we have come to the point where we are back to where we were in 1964. We are heading to where we landed in 1966. But in 1966, the military came and the situation eventually settled with blood costs, 3.5 million from Eastern Nigeria. If we do not stop this stupid journey to election, if we do not stop this obdurate movement towards election on the basis of a constitution that is in a spin, Nigeria will snap. I don't know how it will happen. We don't intend to lift a finger to stop the people who are, railroading themselves to election, the parties. We are not. We are just going to. We know that the dynamics playing now will bring everything to a crash, because people now know what they didn't know before. And so What we should be talking about is whether it is election that will solve our problem or transition. Because election can only compound the matter. Election is like carrying, fuel into low-intensity fire. In the circumstance, that's what happened to us in 1964. But Hakeem Baba-Ahmed is not telling us about that. He wants to divert our attention to electing the better candidate. His younger brother is running mate to Peter Obi. And these are two virgins from the coven, from the brothel, that are going to now, is it change of personnel that will solve this problem? Or the decommissioning of that constitution for a better constitutional arrangement that is workable? We have to answer that question, except we want to learn the hard way. Thank you.
Thank you.